Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and to the 22nd coffee stream. And my guest today is the lovely Ranting Monkey. Hello, Ranting Monkey. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. This is really cool. I've been watching Lords of the Night for like a year and a bit. So
Oh, wow. Thank you.
it's really cool that I get to talk to you.
Did you say this is named the coffee stream?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta go.
Oh, you
I
don't
don't, I
drink.
don't, I don't, I don't drink coffee now.
That's okay. If you drink any kind of caffeine, you can
I always have Diet Pepsi right next
you
to me.
can you can participate if you imbibe caffeine in some form. you
I do
may you
indeed.
may you may participate.
I've tried drinking coffee since I was a child because my dad always drank it, and I wanted to be like Dad, and I've never cared for it.
Some people just don't like the taste.
And it's so bitter to me. And people go, well, put sugar and stuff in it. I promise.
Have
I
you
put
tried the
everything in.
flavored coffees like French vanilla and stuff like that? Because
I know.
those are
I've just
tasty.
I've written off coffee as something that normal people do that I will never understand.
Well, that's okay. My uncle used to call it black devil juice, and then he had his fourth child, and now he can't live without it, and it's really amusing. So yeah, as you can see, the title of this stream is Ableist Blind People and Blind Firefighters.
Oh,
Because I came across a video yesterday done by another blind person who was talking about a conference that an American organization for the blind had run, and this particular organization, I'm gonna name them because I'm Canadian and they can't touch me, ha ha ha. The NFB, while they do good work, they do have this tendency to tell blind people that there's nothing that we can't do, which I'm sorry, but that's not true.
no, it's not.
And one of the things that was brought up in this conference was apparently blind people being firefighters.
That
And
sounds like a horrible idea.
yeah, it really
Jim, the fire's
does.
this way.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit, right? Like, how are you? Because if you have a guide dog, you sure as fuck aren't bringing your guide dog in the fire. Like, how are you going to navigate?
Yeah.
Rely on a piece of metal that'll melt? Like,
Yeah. I
ooh,
this whole
coffee with Kahlua. Sorry, I'm reading chat.
oh no, you're fine. The whole ableist movement thing it annoys me because now that officially crippled, guys, there are things I just cannot do,
Yeah.
and that's not a slam against me. It's just reality. And a blind firefighter, bad idea. There's not much they can help with there. They're certainly not driving the truck.
No.
Hopefully,
Yeah, like, how are they going to get there? Are they going to drive the fire truck there?
yeah. And sliding down the pole seems like a bad idea to me. I'm just saying the idea that, and it's not just that. There's so many things where people do this where we can do anything. No, you can't, and it's nobody's saying you're a bad person because you can't be a firefighter when you're blind.
You just
It's
can't.
annoying to me.
There's so many things, like, because and the thing is, they don't, the philosophy behind this is you don't want to tell young blind people that they can't do things. And it's like, well, there's a difference between telling a blind kid that you should always strive for your best and telling them, sure, little Timmy, you can do anything. Because that's not true.
Right. It's
And
not
that's
true.
and it's very, very disheartening when you, like, push yourself to achieve something that you think you can do, and then you find out, oh fuck.
Yeah, and in this case, we're talking about something very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't even know what other job it would compare to, but you're talking about being a firefighter. This is a dangerous job that requires being able to take in all of your surroundings. And again, it's not a slam against blind people that they
No.
can't do that. I can't do that, and I can see just fine, but I can't lift anybody. You don't want cripple monkey out there trying to save your ass.
Yeah.
And that's not a slam against me. That's just reality.
Richard
Oh,
R says, "Wait, she's blind?" Yes, Richard R. I am blind.
yes. To recycle a joke I made the other day, this is the blind cripple stream. We need Jesus.
Yes, we need Jesus.
We need Jesus, y'all. If you find him, tell him we could use some help. I've read the stories. We need that shit.
I got told by a Jesus freak last week that I was braver than Superman for leaving my house.
Well, I do think it's brave for blind people to leave their houses because, as somebody who can see, and I trip and run into shit all the time, it is amazing to me. And I'm not just kissing up here. I mean that sincerely. I find it very impressive.
Well, we do have to rely, especially if we're crossing the street, we have to rely that people who are driving are actually driving properly.
Yeah, see, that's the other part. I
That's
see
terrifying.
those parts, they're not. But yeah, it is. That is impressive.
But then he told me that only smart people believe in God. So that kind of, because he asked me if I believed in God, and I honestly told him no. And then he's like, "Oh, well, you should, because I used to be like you, and I was top of my class, and I come to realize that only the smart people believe in God." Like,
alrighty then.
Okay. So are you trying to tell me I'm stupid? Like, what? Are you trying to tell me you hope that I change my mind because I seem intelligent? Like, what?
I'm not saying everybody. I know a lot of dumb people who believe in God, and I'm not slamming people who. I'm not down on religion. I understand where people are going with it, and I'm not down on it. So it's not a slam at people, but there's a lot of really dumb people out there. Both atheists and believers.
Yep.
And there are quite a few atheists that are actually quite smart.
Oh, there's a blind guy in chat that said me and a few other people in my state just got their CCP the other day.
What's CCP?
Concealed carry permit.
Oh, cool.
I think there's a big difference between handling a gun safely as a blind person and saving other people's lives from a burning building.
I got to be honest. I don't understand how a blind person would use a gun.
You can get there are competitions for blind shooters, so they have audio targets.
Oh, okay.
And there was actually a really cool, I can't remember if it was a Perry Mason episode or a Matlock episode, where the murderer was actually a blind guy who put a piece of paper on the stairs to listen for when his victim was coming down the stairs. And when he stepped on the paper, he aimed and shot for the sound.
Well, as the ranting monkey, I got to tell you, my first thought was, everybody duck, the blind guy's shooting.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
my aim is okay, but I always have.
Oh, you shoot?
Well, I've shot my grandfather's .22 before, and my husband has a one of those air pistols.
Oh, yeah.
So we always take it to the cottage, and he does target shooting. And he always, like, he always helps me aim and everything, but then he like lets go so I can shoot.
Gotcha. So
but
it's still you shooting. He just
yeah,
points you in the right direction.
yeah, it's still me shooting, but he just helps me aim properly.
Gotcha.
But my flipping, the barrel always comes up when I shoot. It's really annoying. Like
Well,
my thumb lifts the gun. It's really annoying.
I've shot rifles. I've shot an AR-15, and I've shot a handgun. I suck with a handgun. I don't know why. I can't hit the broadside of a barn with that. You put a 30-06 in my hand, and I don't want to say I'm deadly. I've never shot anyone, but I could be deadly. Handguns I suck with.
Oh, Michelle Prompt says, I box and I'm blind. That's fucking awesome. There's a couple of blind people in this chat, I've noticed.
How do you guys, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be insensitive here. How the fuck y'all do that? I'm seriously impressed. I don't know if I'm supposed to be.
No, there are, if you get the right teacher, because some people just don't know how to help a blind person. Like, because you have to physically show them the stances, right? You have to like help them put their body in the correct positions, and some people just aren't comfortable with that, which I get. Like, if you don't know how to approach
how do you know where your opponent is, though?
I don't know. The worst part is I'm watching Daredevil season 1 in the background. Oh, Jacob Bravo, that's awesome.
No, this is a learning experience for me, because I don't know, because like the things that I hear about are like your blind firefighters, and that is a bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
That is a horrible idea. Like I said, that would be as bad as putting my cripple ass in a fucking fire situation. But a blind boxer, that is amazing to me. And I'm not being patronizing here. I am fucking impressed. That is amazing.
See, I would much prefer, if I was to do any martial arts, I would prefer to do jujitsu.
Sure, yeah.
Because I wouldn't be necessarily sure if I could hear my opponents properly if I was boxing them.
Right, and
so I'd rather grapple with them.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. See, that I could even understand. I still think your opponent, if they could see, would have a huge advantage, just because they can get away from you, and again, it comes back to how do you fucking know where they are? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I cuss here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh, she boxes. The lady that was saying she boxes with the heavy bag right now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And she puts like tactile things on the floor so she can feel where she's stepping.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's a cool adaptation. Snub Earth, no, I do not tongue butter turtle caves.
Snub.
And yes, I do understand the lore on that. I've been listening since before Turtle Caves.
And Blind's been with us for a long time. There's some of you guys in chat that, I mean, I don't know if we necessarily point you out enough, but yeah, that we know, it's like they've been here forever. And like, if you stop coming by for a while, like where'd they go? And that's not an egotistical thing. It's like we actually worry about you. Like Bloodwing has been gone for a while, and for those of us who know, it's like where'd he go? Where'd he go? It's because you're used to them being around. Now, do you, in your own life, do you do things like that with the tactile stuff on the floor, on anything? That's fucking amazing to me. That is an amazing adaptation, like you said.
I wouldn't. I might do that if I were fighting, but I don't do that in like my house or anything like that. Grid pattern is a good strategy though for like if you want to do cleaning or something like that. Always follow a grid pattern.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm grilling you about being blind here.
Sorry.
I don't know much about it. My overcoming what I'm dealing with now is mostly just laying down and having people bring me food so I don't starve to death.
Yeah.
So my adaptation's easy. I lay down and watch TV. What you deal with on a daily basis. I'm sorry, were you blind from birth?
Almost. I was 6 months old, and some dumbass anti-vaxxer brought her sick child
Oh,
with the measles
fuck.
to my grandmother's house and didn't tell anybody that her child had the measles until after she brought her there.
That
And when you're
sucks.
6 months old, you're too young for the measles vaccine. So I got the measles. And
I'm sorry to hear that. No, I'm sure you've heard that a ton in your
yeah,
life, but
well,
man, that's fucked up.
I am the main argument that I give for people. I have a friend who's like, "Oh, don't vaccinate your kids because they put aluminum blah 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 in the vaccines," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I went blind because of that." So
Right. I was about to say you probably are not a fan of the anti-vaxxers,
no, I'm really not.
and understandably not. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's fucked up.
Well,
Those dumbass people.
I consider myself lucky if I was to lose my sight like after if I wasn't born blind, I would rather lose my sight as a baby because I can't remember seeing.
Right.
Like it would really suck if I saw most of my life and then had to deal with going blind that way. Like
Yeah, that's a worry for me because I am diabetic and I really don't take care of it. So I'm
yeah, I
trying to
yell at
get
my
better.
sister about that. She's type 1
Mm-hmm.
and she was being a teenager and not taking her insulin for a while. So I
Oh
was
God,
like,
yeah.
dude, you're gonna go like me if you're not careful. Not what you want.
I'm type Dorito.
You're type Dorito.
Yeah, mine is all from not taking care of myself my whole life, and I got to get better. I'm getting old. Getting old. Getting old is not fun. I always wanted to be old when I was when I was younger, just because you've probably heard the mouth on me. That's how I've been my whole life. If I disagree with somebody, I have no problem saying it. But when you're younger, everybody's like, "Oh, he's such a dick." When you're older, it's like, "Oh, he's just a funny old man." So I'm really looking forward to getting older, but I didn't realize what it does to your body.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does. It really does. So, do you have a dog?
Not yet.
Okay.
I want to get a dog soon. We were living with my mom for a while and she's deathly allergic to dogs.
Oh, Jesus
So I
Christ.
put that off. But now that I've got a 4-year-old and a year and a half old, I want to get a dog.
How in the world? Okay, see, this is going to sound like I'm sucking up, but it's really not. How in the world do you deal with that? That is amazing to me that you got two youngins, um, and you can't even see. It's gonna bite you in the ass when they're teenagers. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
It's either gonna bite me in the ass when they're teenagers, or their friends are gonna be like, "Come on, let's sneak out somewhere," and they're gonna be like, "Are you kidding me? Mom will hear me. What are you? How stupid do you think I am?"
She listens for this. Don't you understand? Yeah. Oh, that is
I
cool. That is really cool.
I can always like now it's I'll be in the other room and I'll hear something and I'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I'm going to warn you. This is apparently the best thing you can do is it's like when you don't hear it. As they get older, when you don't hear it, that's when you're like, all right, what are you up to?
Yep. Quiet is bad.
Yep. And they don't get that. They think they're being sneaky. Like, I was a kid once. I know what you're doing in there.
At least when they're loud, you know where they are.
Indeed. Can I ask you about something completely different?
Sure.
In the chat earlier, you said that Philly D's video was sketchy, or I can't remember your exact wording.
I think it was shady because
Shady. Yeah,
he was saying that like he was saying that I'm trying to start my own ad agency with my company and I'm not a partner with BetterHelp, but I'm a partner with BetterHelp because I'm helping these other people get referrals with them. And it's like it was kind of double speak to me. It
you're
felt
not
like.
wrong. Okay. Yeah, I see that argument. Um, if he had explained that to the people that he was working with, I don't think it would be a big deal.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, absolutely, yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to
Yeah, no,
clear that up because
it totally came off as double speak to me. And it was like for somebody who did so much work to expose somebody like Daddy O5,
sure.
like how could he not have taken, like it took me 5 minutes to read these terms of service with my fucking robot screen reader. And I'm a layperson who doesn't have a team of lawyers.
See, that's to me. I'm not sure that. I would guess he actually did have his team of lawyers look at this, and they just thought that's no big deal.
But how, like, I don't understand how they could think that that's not a big deal, because like then all counseling services should be like, well, we can't guarantee that our counselors are trained, because they're advertising that they're trained, right? And then they turn around and then in their terms of service it actually says we can't we cannot guarantee you that these counselors have been trained, that they have degrees, that they are counselors, like, and it's just like, so you're just a service that matches people with, like, had they marketed it as something like we have here in Canada called the Kids Help Phone, and it's volunteers and older teenagers that volunteer for peer support, and it's marketed that way, right? Like it's marketed as a not-for-profit peer support and volunteer thing that helps kids. Had they marketed it like that, had they marketed it like this is a service that you can pay for us to match you with like a person who's like had they marketed it for that, it probably wouldn't have come off as scammy. But they're marketing it as this is a service that you can pay us and we're going to match you with trained counselors. Oh, but if you read the fine print, we're not actually doing that.
The thing is, and I'd have to go back and watch his actual videos to see. I don't remember him ever saying, like qualified counselor or anything like that. And maybe he did. But it's one of those things where it depends on what was said. And I'm not sticking up for Philly D. I make no bones about the fact that I like his show and stuff, but I don't know. This is just, to me, it's a little bit out of proportion to what I think is actually going on. I think he absolutely should look into it more. But yeah, for me, it doesn't seem as big a deal as other people.
For me, Philly D's part in this isn't as big as like I'm agreeing with you. His part in it is not as big as the fact that this exists to me. Like,
yeah, I'll give you that.
I'm more upset that this whole thing is a thing than that Philly D is a part of this thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, undeniably, that is what it is for them. It's like, Philly D, we're taking you down, and
yeah,
that's just as douchey to me. But yeah, if they're shitty, then they definitely need investigated deeper.
The thing that gets me is the whole, charging credit cards for of people that had just signed up for the trial, or charging credit cards for people on a monthly, like charging them for the whole month at once instead of by week. Like,
and not telling
them that's not good.
That's one of the places that I do give DeFranco a little more credit than anyone else. Is he never went over the pricing, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But everybody else, $35 a week. No, it's not. No, it's not. No. Don't say that. You're a liar. And they do that marketing bullshit. As little as 30. You know how much it is. Stop it.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying this crap for a year. Stop it. Yeah, and to me, that's the worst part, is the marketing of it, because just be honest about it, and maybe people will sign up. There's a lot of people out there who would like to talk to a counselor, and that money would be worth it to them. But
Well, I was willing to pay, like, because my city's torn to shit right now, and
Hmm.
the counseling services that are affordable to me are not accessible to me because of that construction, and they don't do over the phone appointments. So
Oh,
I was looking into BetterHelp because I was like, well, shit, online counseling, that's perfect for somebody like me.
I'm honestly surprised that it hasn't been a thing before.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if it's because they can't guarantee qualified, counselors.
maybe. But I don't understand, like, how, because like the healthcare system is becoming more and more electronic.
Yeah.
So why is the mental health care, like, why is this not being updated as well? Like, I don't
Well, I do
understand.
think part of it is the truth is, guys, no matter what counselor you see, they can't guarantee to fix you. They
No.
can't guarantee to help you. And having to put that in a disclaimer online, I think that probably turns a lot of them off of it. Because who's gonna who is gonna go to counselors like, look, I can't guarantee to help you. You
Yeah.
I do think that it is good that they turn away people that they find uh, too damaged, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Mm.
Because there were a lot of people upset at that thing. Like, no, that's actually good. Because I agree with Phil in his video. They could still take that person's money,
Yeah.
uh, and they didn't. But yeah, again, there's a lot of people who are treating this like it's the candid thing, and it's just not.
No.
There's problems with it, but it's just not the candid thing. But I was curious about the shady thing, and you're right. He did use some. I think even double speak might be a little bit generous. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off on something else.
Hey, no
I just
problem, man. It's Fridays, like usually Monday to Thursday I read the news and I rant about what I read and go, what the fuck? But Fridays
I know that feeling.
Fridays when I have guests on, I just usually like talk with the guest and read chat and answer, like, just, yeah. It's more of a relaxed thing.
I I've said this many times. I love Lords of the Night. I do. Um, but this accidental thing I've started with Monkey in the Morning, I enjoy the relaxed part of it because for me
Hmm.
most of it is like just talking with the people who come on about whatever nonsense it is that I've decided is going to be my point that day.
Yeah.
Um, I get you. I get you. That the relaxed part. That's so much fun.
Well, and I love doing this. Like, now that my kids are in school, because my 18-month-old took my 4-year-old spot at daycare when he
Oh,
started
nice.
junior kindergarten. So I'm like, well, fuck, I love talking to people. So why not? Like, I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel for a while. So why not do streams and, you know, short ranty videos that, like, so when I do a video, I record the audio for it, and then my
Hmm.
husband Pincalo edits it. um so yeah, Pincalo the driving ape man, you see him in chat sometimes. He's my husband.
Another
um
longtime viewer.
yeah.
I love it. And he sends in. We really should bump you up in the to senior staff reporter, but we stopped doing that. He's been sending this shit since the beginning,
Yeah.
and appreciate it so much, dude.
So he puts my, like, he gets my avatar to move around, and he puts like funny things in the titles.
Now, I want to ask you something else about being blind, if you don't mind. I'm
Hmm.
going to do it anyway. Um, so much of our society, when it comes to like hooking up with somebody or dating them, is based on how they look. As a blind person, I'm assuming that doesn't matter to you at all.
It does and it doesn't. It
How can you
definitely, well, like, if you're gonna be touching on somebody if you're with them, right? Like you're gonna want to like what you're feeling, right?
Sure. Okay.
But it's not the first thing that you're gonna look at, right? Like you're gonna, if you're blind, you're gonna go for do they have a nice voice? Can you stand to listen to them talk?
Yeah, I guess that would be a big one, huh? That makes sense. That makes sense. Blind Press, I joined your Discord but can't access it yet. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna set the rules for all the new people when the stream is over.
Yeah, got to set them rules. I didn't do that for a long
so that
time.
you guys
Oops.
can post things.
Yeah. So like, I don't know how to ask this without it sounding rude, so I'm just gonna ask. So I'd like, have you ever like touched somebody's face and like, oh no, 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 no?
I'm not one of those blind people who does that. There are blind people who do touch faces when they meet people. I'm not one of those people.
I've seen it in movies. That's why I asked.
Yeah, no, they do exist. Those blind people do exist. I'm just I'm not one. I would think smell would be important too. Says thoughts
Yes.
from the dryer. Yes. Yeah. If they stink, it's not.
Deal breaker.
Yeah. But
his voice sucks and he stinks. No.
Yeah. But if they have a nice voice, if they have good, like if you can talk to them about things that aren't vapid and ridiculous, like for me, I look for voice and personality.
So what you're telling us is Pincalo has a nice voice, he doesn't stink, and he has a nice personality.
Yes. Oh, Piccolo says, "Oh, I'm ugly as fuck." Monkey, don't get that wrong.
Stop it. I like Piccolo. He's a good guy. How long have you been doing this stream here?
The coffee stream's only been a month. Blind Press, this account is technically a year old already. But I haven't really been, like, I started doing streams over the summer, but I was really busy with the kids, so it wasn't like a regular thing. But now I've got a schedule. Like I do Monday to Friday at 10, and then I nerd out about Star Trek on the weekends, on Saturdays, and then I play fighting games with Pincalo on Sundays.
What's your favorite Trek?
Next Gen, probably because I grew up with it.
Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah, I love Next Gen.
My son has just recently got into it, and that was a proud papa moment. And I know that's silly, guys, but when he texted me asking me, Dad, what should I watch? Should I watch the original series or should I watch TNG? Like TNG, watch TNG. And yeah, he's really gotten into it, and it's made me so happy.
I love TNG. Mostly, like, I'll admit I have a bias because of Geordi. But
yeah, okay.
But I love all the characters. Like when I was a kid, I was enthralled that there was a blind engineer on a starship.
That's amazing.
That was so cool to me. And I was the only kid in my class. Like when we watched Reading Rainbow, I flipped out. I was like, "It's Geordi LaForge!" And everyone around me was like, "What?" Because it's a bunch of 7-year-olds, and I'm the only one like, "It's Geordi! It's Geordi!"
No, that's something that Star Trek has done from the beginning is characters you wouldn't expect. Like the original had a Russian on it. I mean, we're talking the height of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Where
are the nuclear vessels?
I fucking love The Voyage Home. Oh my god. It's something they've always and it's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of so much of the newer stuff is they don't do that. Instead of instead of pushing ideas that would be weird, like a blind engineer, it's gone to silly SJW crap.
Lion Patriot said DS9 is better. I'm in the middle of watching DS9.
You're wrong.
I don't mind DS9. I don't think it's a bad series. And by the way, the Lion Patriot, I just put my Discord link in chat, so if you'd like to hop into the server, you will be among the people whose roles I will set. So yeah, like I don't not like DS9. I think it's a good series.
It is.
But is it better than TNG? No. I'm sorry.
Close.
It's not better than TNG.
I like DS9. I think the problem with DS9 is that they did do it on a station, and you can see even they saw it was a problem because they eventually gave them the Defiant so they could run around. I don't hate it.
Worf didn't even like the station. He lived on the Defiant when it was docked there.
Yeah.
Worf was like, yeah, I can't do this. I don't want to live on this station. I'm going to go live on the ship. Yeah,
that for me is what did it on DS9. And I like DS9. I think Cisco was a great captain. But yeah, no. Give me my TNG, damn it. Especially the later seasons. Oh, they're so good.
Yes.
They get into so many deep topics. It's nice.
Yeah, the later seasons of Next Gen were amazing. Like especially when you got into the engineered societies or the androgynous people who sometimes felt like they had a gender, or and this was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they did it without sounding like crazy SJW freaks. Unlike Star Trek Discovery, who's just throwing all of the tropes in there for us all to not enjoy.
You hit it exactly. It wasn't forced down your throat. And there were so many times when in TNG where it's like, look, we cannot interfere here. This is their way of life, and it's not for us to judge. And it's like, yeah, that's it. We move on with what we do. Let them do what they do. And I'm gonna have to watch TNG after this. Every so often I'll watch the final episode, which I don't think was the best final episode ever, but it was so good for the show.
It was.
What's his name? Picard. His real name escapes me.
Patrick Stewart.
Thank you. Remember, I have no memory. He did such a good job in that. That's where I realized he could really act.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen the one where he became a Borg, and the episodes they did afterwards where he tried to deal with it, and it was hard for him. But that episode is man, this guy got some acting chops.
Logic Pro 10 Gaming asks, how do you feel about Voyager? It was second behind TNG for me. I liked Voyager. Except they really fucked up the Borg story, and the final episode really pissed me off.
I couldn't finish Voyager. I don't know. It wasn't. I don't know.
They tackled some really good topics on Voyager as well, but you could tell that sometimes the writers forgot some previous canon, with the Borg.
They just took the Borg and might as well have thrown them out and just made a whole new race.
Well, yeah, because the thing was they kept saying that 7 of 9's parents were the first ones to discover the Borg. That wasn't true. Q flew through the Enterprise into the path of a Borg cube, and that was the first time.
Yep.
The Starfleet had no idea about the Borg until 2365, but they're trying to make us think in Voyager that in 2240s or 2340s, when Annika was 6, that they went to discover the Borg. No, fuck that shit. You can't do that.
That was a problem with a lot of Star Trek for me after The Next Generation, is they started retconning so much crap. And I understand why they did it, is because they wanted to make it interesting to people, and the Borg had become the big bad, so that's who they gotta be fighting all the time. But so much of it was retcon, and it's like, no, that's not how it goes. You're wrong. You're just wrong. And that really killed it for me, because like a lot of Star Trek for me was my dad. My dad loved Star Trek, and me and my dad didn't have a lot in common. This, for the record, guys, this isn't a my dad didn't love me story. Me and my dad got along great. We just never really had a lot to talk about. And Star Trek was one of those, especially The Next Generation, because he used to watch it with me. And so anytime they fuck up The Next Generation, it annoys me to a point I can't really explain. Just leave it alone. Do it right. It's not that hard. They left you a whole bunch that you can still do.
Yeah, they really did. And Logic Pro 10 Gaming says the war against species 8472 was great. You have to admit that. Yeah, it was great. I don't know if you saw that far into Voyager, Monkey, but
I didn't. I couldn't even tell you how much. I tried, guys. I really did. I didn't watch it when it was live, but it's on Netflix, or at least it was. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna give this a try. And I watched from the beginning, and I can't remember how far up I got. And I'm like, this is shit. And I said, you know what? If you watch the beginning of TNG, it's bad.
Yeah.
The first season is not good.
No, it's not.
So I'm like, all right, I will jump ahead. And I jumped ahead and just picked an episode at random. Like, it's still shit, y'all. So I stopped watching.
Yeah, if you skip all of up to season 3, episode 26, which is called Scorpion Part 1, that's when it starts to get good. When they introduce 7 of 9.
I don't want to wait that long for a show to get good.
That's why you just skip it. Because you're not going to miss much of... The only thing you're going to miss, really, is Doc's character arc and Tom Paris's character arc, but you're not going to miss much of it because it starts to pick up more in season 3 and 4 anyway. So you're not going to miss much of a backstory.
Yeah, I can't. I promise, guys, I tried. For anybody out there, you just didn't give it up. I tried, and like I said, I love DS9. I just wish they had. I get why they couldn't, because then it wouldn't be on a star base. But I wish it had been a vessel show rather than them having to smash that in later. Put them on a starship, because that's what Star Trek is.
I've wanted to write a fan fiction called Star Trek Intergalactic.
Yeah.
Where they put parts of the crew from Next Gen and parts of the crew from Voyager on a brand new starship that's been designed to break the galactic barrier and leave and go between galaxies. And the reason that they've put the Voyager crew back on a deep space mission is because none of them can climatize to life back home on Earth.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That's my idea for a fan fiction.
No, that would actually be, that sounds really cool. The thing is, the people who make Star Trek would never come up with something like that, because they're not intelligent enough. I hate Star Trek these days. I really do. What they've done to it. I didn't mind the first new movie that they did. There's part of me that was like, God, no, you don't have to do this. Just make a new captain, make a whole new thing. You don't have to do this.
Yeah, I didn't really like the new universe angle, the timey-wimey, because that's my problem. I find with most bad Star Trek ideas is that they get around it by going time travel.
Yep.
And that's what they've done with this new universe, and I don't like it, and I really don't like Zachary Quinto as Spock, and I really don't like...
Yeah, he's not good.
I really don't like freaking Star Trek Discovery with the Klingons that carry their dead around with them, and the fucking half sister that Spock suddenly has now, and what the fuck is all this bullshit?
Just be happy you're blind. You should see what they did to the fucking Klingons.
Oh my god, Pinkala was pissed when he was trying to describe them to me. He's like, I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, they totally fucked them up, and I don't mind, you know, some changes because yeah, that happens sometimes. But they were bad. They're bad. They're just bad. Welcome to Star Trek, guys.
Q is a huge plot device. He's a character. He's not a plot device. Q is his own character. He's.
Don't be dissing on Q. I love Q.
Yeah, Q's amazing. If Q was a plot device, then they would have actually used him to send Voyager home. But Q refused to send Voyager home.
Yeah.
Because he did show, there was like, I think there were 3 episodes that he showed up in Voyager. I
said because he didn't like him either.
He didn't like them either. Oh, he had a huge crush on Janeway. That's for sure. He wanted to get with her so bad.
Yeah.
But it's Q. Q is the best part of TNG, I think.
I didn't like him in the first episode. They made him too cartoony in that episode for me. But what they did with him after was great, especially when he was kicked out of the whatever the hell they are.
When he was kicked out of the continuum and was a human.
Yes, and had to deal with it. That's another thing I liked about TNG is they had so many great characters that came and went. Miles O'Brien, who ended up on DS9, came from there. They had Barkley, who was on there for so long.
Oh, I loved Barkley.
Barkley was awesome. they just had so many great characters they put through that show that weren't even necessarily, you know, main characters. And there's not. I haven't watched. I've seen 90% of DS9.
Yeah,
and they kind of did that because you had so many people come and go through the station. But none of them were as memorable to me as the ones from TNG.
No, they weren't. And like DS9 had opportunities to make really, really good. Like they had opportunities with the characters they had, but they kept bringing in people from TNG. Like they kept bringing in Loxana Troy again.
Oh yeah.
And getting her like. That whole thing with Odo, like, do I love Loxana or do I love Kira? Like, what the fuck was that about?
That was writers had nothing better to do. Unfortunately.
This is true. It sucks, but it's true.
I didn't know you were a Star Trek geek. That is so awesome. And by the way, I say geek in a loving fashion, not
no worries,
what's wrong with you. I love me some Star Trek. I think I'll watch that when I take my nap today. I'm old and I have to nap now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap it up in the next 5 minutes or so.
When I said now, I didn't mean like immediately. So
no, but I usually go till I usually do about an hour.
Oh, okay.
An hour and a few minutes.
So you have self-control, unlike some of us.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I save the longer streams for like weekends. Sometimes when I do games with Pinkalo on Sundays, we go for like 2 hours.
Now, how in the hell do you play games?
I play by sound. So there are very few games that I can play. Like, especially, it sucks because we're stuck with a Dreamcast. So, there's only a few games that I can play by sound on Dreamcast. But I really want to get my hands on a new console because PlayStation and Xbox have, like, I don't want an Xbox, I want a PlayStation.
Mhm.
But they've put text to speech on their, like, in their consoles.
Oh, that's right. I read about that. That's pretty awesome of them.
So blind people, there's a couple of blind gamers that are actually able now. They do YouTube stuff where they play like Black Ops in campaign mode, or they do like Call of Duty Zombies, or like they're just trying out the text to speech on a few different games.
Mhm.
And I would love to be able to do that. I would love to be able to go through one of the newer Soul Calibur games and do mission mode, like by myself, without having somebody sit there and read to me what I have to do. Like that would be really cool.
Understandable. Yeah.
But they're still fucking $500 a pop, so that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me, I know. I so want to play Red Dead, and I can't justify, even if I had that kind of money,
Yeah.
spending that money on it just for that game. Because they're so expensive.
Well, and the games now are expensive too. And then you still have to download extra content and stuff. Like I can see why, like, Pinkalo really doesn't want a new console. Like he's like, let's just stick with the Dreamcast, and I can understand that he doesn't like the DLC. Like
Oh, I hate
where
that
you
shit. Yeah.
spend $80 on a game and then you still have to, download shit. And like I get why he doesn't want one, and they're $500. um, but like I do want one for the TTS features, and for there's a few more games that I can play, and I can play online with other people, and it would be easier to stream, because right now we have, the way we stream our Dreamcast games is we put Pinkalo's laptop camera at the TV. We point it at the TV, and then it's like lined up so that it looks like you're sitting in your buddy's living room watching your buddy play Dreamcast over his shoulder. That's how it's set up to look. So it's very, very much potato, like it's old school, but it would be so much easier to stream a game
with
from
a
a
newer
new
setup.
console.
Understand? Yeah.
And the sound would be better, and yeah. But there's so much that you could use $500 for other than that.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Especially when you have kids, right? It's like
or no job. Like
or no job. Yeah.
I joke and stuff, about ramen money, but this is my job, so everything that I make off of this goes to bills and the house and things that need done here.
Well, and that's part of the reason why I do this as well, because I don't want to sit on disability forever. And
yes, ma'am.
Going around, like, trying to get a job as a blind person, people would rather hire the person in the wheelchair or the deaf person before they would hire a blind person. And I think it's a fear of blindness. There's actually been studies done where people have actually chosen, like a would you rather scenario. People have actually said they'd rather have cancer than be blind. And
I wouldn't go that far. There's a lot of things I'd rather do than be blind, but cancer's not one of them, because I don't want to die.
No.
People are weird. They've done the studies that show that people would rather die than speak in public, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Literally zero. You're a moron.
It doesn't make sense.
People are morons. That's the moral of this stream, guys. People are fucking morons. Yeah. I as somebody with sight, I can't imagine, what it would be to lose sight. But people give me this, all the time. I don't know how you deal with that, and it's like, well, once you're dealing with it, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Um, my choices right now are deal with what I'm going through, or die.
Yeah.
And I like myself too much for that second option. I
Yeah.
really do. But yeah, I don't doubt that people would say, yeah, I'd rather die than be blind because, or get cancer than be blind because, cancer might be treatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, might be.
So
There's
it's
only two
really
ways you're
hard.
coming out of it.
It's really hard to go walk into a job interview and get a job as a blind person. And I really like to go and talk to people. And so I figured, well, why the fuck not do this? Like, yeah, I'm too small to enable super chats and stuff right now, but I mean, I do have a Streamlabs and I do have a Patreon. And by the way, thank you to Gulf City Cult of Krill, if and when you listen to this, for signing up today and becoming a patron. That was
Oh, really
awesome
cool
of
of you,
you.
dude. Nice.
So like it helps me feel like I'm doing something, that I'm not just sitting around, like especially now that my kids are at school and I'm not, full time looking after them anymore.
Right.
I feel like I'm contributing something.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. And I know we're not supposed to think like this, but as a man, um, I've always thought, I'm the breadwinner, even though my wife has worked for probably most of our marriage. It's just how I am. I'm the one who and it's just not, that's not what life is like right now because
No.
it can't be. But I still do what I can, and I whore myself out all the time, guys, because I need to be the breadwinner again. And in all seriousness, I mean, I started this because I was bored out of my fucking mind, and I mentioned before I used to blog, and I, I just thought, I bet I could get a bigger audience this way, and I have, which is nice. But yeah, for me, the money is nice. It's nice to be helping, but by no means am I the breadwinner anymore, and that's still hard to deal with.
Yeah, I can
Throwing that out
imagine. I can
there.
totally
Yeah.
imagine. Sorry, guys, I forgot my phone in the other room. My computer was about to die, so I haven't been watching chat. um,
They're fine. Y'all are fine.
they're fine.
Fine.
So I read it just before we go. I read a story yesterday about a blind person or a blind woman who became an investment banker. She lost her sight as an adult, and she was so ashamed of losing her sight that she would pretend that she couldn't read. Like when she would go out with her clients, she would pretend that the reason she couldn't read her menus was because she lost her contact lenses and
Oh
like
dear
all
God.
this crap. And so she has now decided that she and her husband are going to start up an investment firm called iBond, and they're going to bankroll a cure for blindness.
Um. Okay, but I don't understand. I'm probably too open with my life anyway, so I have trouble understanding why somebody would be like, I can't read because I lost my contacts instead of, hey, I'm blind.
I don't know either. That part really bothered me. Like I can understand, like yeah, this is later on in life, and it's probably hard to deal with, but like
It's not like getting herpes.
no,
I mean, it's not like, yeah, I didn't use a condom and now I'm going to itch for the rest of my life. It's you're blind. You didn't. I fucking hate people.
yeah, I know, right?
That makes no goddamn sense at all. Lady, if you're listening, you're an idiot. I
Yeah,
hope I hope you cure blindness because that would be great. But you're an idiot.
yeah. And I think that's her reason to want to cure it, is because she was ashamed. Like, curing blindness is hard because there's so many causes.
Yeah. It would be great if there was like one way to cure all of them, but too many things make it happen. But it would be nice if we spent money on research for that instead of making it so gay mice can have children.
What the fuck?
Just throwing that out there, researchers.
Oh my god, I know, right?
There's so many problems in the world. There's so many things that need scientific research that would help humanity. And no, they're making sure gay mice can have kids.
Because, it's not like if they're trying to do this for human things down the road, it's not like human gay people can't adopt.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like human gay people don't have, surrogacy contracts. Like, they can have kids, just not naturally, because their sexual orientation kind of prevents that. But there are ways around this problem, thankfully.
Hey, if we just smash those eggs together hard enough, they can have it. They're just not scissoring hard enough, guys.
It's the baby hadron collider. That's what it is.
Oh my! Well played. Well played indeed. Yeah, and I don't mean this. I'm not piggybacking on blindness, guys. I am desperate for them to find a way to fix spinal cords.
Yeah.
They're fucking around with mice having gay babies. That is a waste of money. That is a waste of research. There are other things that need fixed before that is all I'm saying.
Exactly.
This stuff does get me pissed off because for the record, I used to get pissed off about this stuff before it directly affected me, but now it directly affects me. I mean, the things that they can cure and do, there are people out there doing amazing research on all of these things. And then you have people out there, oh, look, gay mice had babies. And those people need to fuck off.
Yes. I think they should have to donate all of their grant money to actual worthy causes.
Yes. Because who does that help? Seriously.
I don't even think it helps the gay mice.
It doesn't, especially the male gay ones, because all of their babies died.
Yeah, no shit.
Oops.
How do the males give birth? Do they fucking cesarean the mouse?
No, that was the part. That was a part of the article they didn't really get into, is how these baby mice were born. And I'm wondering if they kept that out as on purpose for some reason.
Probably because it was too gruesome.
No, I'm actually wondering if their research isn't as good as they are suggesting, like this was actually some kind of weird surrogacy thing, where they didn't actually make gay mice babies. They just took the chromosomes from the babies and basically cloned them inside another egg. So that part does keep me. I was wondering, because they usually you get some kind of information on that.
Yeah.
But again, instead of doing something like that, there's a whole bunch of human conditions you could be working on curing, you fuck nuts.
There really are. It's ridiculous.
I just can't imagine being a research scientist and going to a party and saying, what do you do? I'm a research scientist. Yeah, what do you research? Making gay mice babies. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go over here and...
Who makes that pledge at the fundraising party?
I know. I mean, the thing is, it could probably get more money than being a cripple or being a blind person, because, that's the thing these days.
Yep. Well, guys, it's 11:05, and I'm actually getting kind of hungry, so I'm going to wrap things up. I wanted to say thanks very much to Ranting Monkey for coming on and chatting with me. If you guys aren't subscribed to Ranting Monkey, you guys should go and do that so you can catch the Lords of the Night on his channel. And go subscribe to Scribe and Satsu because the Lords of the Night are on their channons too. And
fuck
they're
those guys.
hilarious.
Just kidding.
So thanks for coming on and streaming with me, Monkey. That was lots of
thanks
fun.
for having me.
I found another Star Trek nerd. Yay!
Oh, I love Star Trek. I need you to do me a favor. I need you and Pinkalo to hug each other for us, because you guys have been with us for a long time. That's not something we can do. So after the stream, give each other a big hug, and that's from us on Lords of the Night.
Well, for sure, I will do that. And thank you so much for coming and talking to me. And thank you for watching, chat. It was really awesome. I had 30 viewers today. That's way more than I usually have. So thank you for coming and watching us talk. And don't forget to come and watch me, Skep Talk, Polydub, and Hammer tomorrow night talk about the pilot of Star Trek's animated series. And that's tomorrow night at 10 Eastern. Unfortunately, it's in the middle of Lords of the Night, but
that's all right. You can watch us on replay.
And we'll be back here on Monday with more news and fun stuff. And don't forget to come see us on The Blind and the Special on Sunday night at 10 o'clock, where Pinkalo and I play video games. So with that, I will end today. Thank you all so much for coming and watching. Stay safe out there and have a great day, guys.
Bye, guys.